Pattaya, one of Thailand's famous tourist destinations with diverse lifestyles such as the entertainment vibes, holiday escapes, and even long staycation, appeal for many international retirees and digital nomads. Due to its distance and location, which is just only 1.5-hour drive from Bangkok, it has become one of the most visited areas outside of the capital and a popular place for many Thais and internationals to reside. Now, after the COVID-19 pandemic, we are seeing the city waking up to life again. The real estate industry and hospitality is now back on track and are again challenging each other and competing over its unique designs and facilities. So let's discuss more about this today with Mr. Chanin Wanitwong, Chief Executive Officer from Habitat Group Company Limited. So please welcome Kun Shane, CEO of Habitat Group to Voice of the Nation ค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
Welcome to Voice of the Nation ค่ะ and first of all thank you for being here in our program. Because we are we're going to talk about this attractive city, Pattaya.
Okay.
We have a lot of tourists, both international and also Thai people as well. How is the overall situation right now over there?
Well, I think Pattaya is doing great. You know, actually during pandemic in the past 2 years, people try not to travel abroad because people don't want to get on the airplane. So what happened is that people try to travel within, you know, a short distance, let's say less than 2 or 3 hours. So that's why I think Pattaya is still performing quite okay. Even though the pandemic, I mean, some properties are still performing quite well, like a boutique hotel with privacy. In terms of real estate, of course, Pattaya capture domestic demand more than 50%, and the other half can come from international buyers, visitors. So I think all situations, things are coming back very quickly. And of course, half of the tourists came from Bangkok. So weekends are 100% full, weekdays maybe 30-40%. And for the real estate, you know, projects like pool villa projects are still performing quite well. Because people, they try to buy a second home, vacation home. They can work from home because of the COVID in the past. That really changed consumer behavior. Probably like branded residences on the beachfront or maybe close to the beach are still a good type of product that still can sell quite well as well. Yeah, so I think that's still a pretty good demand for Pattaya, yeah.
So because of its advantage of
Right.
location, it's not
Exactly.
too far.
Exactly.
Also from Bangkok, we have a lot of Bangkokians and also Thai
Right.
people who want
Right.
to escape.
Right.
And also because the city has its own vibrant energy to attract a lot of tourists. I would like to ask, what are the type of tourists that are currently visiting Pattaya, and what are the type of property now that they
Okay.
are looking for in terms of vacations and also long stay and investment as well?
Oh, okay. Because of the location, just 90 minutes drive from Bangkok, right? 120 kilometers. It was so close and so convenient from Bangkok, which means that I would say, you know, the figure during pre-COVID, which could be like nearly 10 million visitors per year, I would say half of them came from Bangkok. Because we can say that Pattaya is the only beach city that you can drive. You can just decide, maybe have an hour and go there. You can go there in the morning and coming back. You might want to spend a night or 2 days. I mean, it's so convenient, you know. Unlike if you go to Hua Hin, you've got to spend 3.5 hours drive. If you go to the south, you need to get on the airplane. You might spend half an hour at the airport. Pattaya was so close. That's why it captured more than 50% of tourists from Bangkok. The other half, actually, I would say it has a nice mixed nationalities, not just a North Asian travelers like from China, from Korea, from Hong Kong, but it has tourists from like Middle East, India, European, and also from America as well. It's kind of diverse.
Very diverse.
Yeah, so that's why the mix of nationality is quite stable. Unlike if you go to the south, maybe Phuket, Samui, it rely, I would say 90% on, you know, international travelers. So that's why during pandemic, Pattaya is still performing quite okay. Some can run 20-30% occupancy. I'll probably still run 50-60 occupancy. So, and not just the travelers, okay? Another group of the demand there as a buyer or investors. Pattaya is the only city, you know, where it's located in the heart of EEC. There are so many industrial asset zones in the east part of Thailand. So that's why hotels or real estate will not capture tourists from Bangkok or international, but also there are lots of expats. There are lots of workers, management level who works in the EC. As you know, that EC really play a major role to our economy. EC cover like 1.5 million baht investment from the government, which cover 5 to 7 years roadmap. So one of them, which is the infrastructure. As you know that right now you drive hour and a half, but there are so many infrastructures coming in the future. One of them is at Utapao International Airport, right? Once it is completed, it can accommodate up to 10 to 20 million passengers per year. Right now, it can be 5 to 10 million passengers. Also, high-speed train, which combine 3 airports together: Don Mueang, Suvarnabhumi, and Utapao. Now you drive 90 minutes. In the future, you can take high-speed train from Suvarnabhumi to Pattaya just only half an hour. Imagine you can be there in half an hour to the beach city, right? Also, a new motorway accessing to Pattaya, Rayong, EC. It's just so convenient. No traffic light. You can just drive one stop and you can be there in 90 minutes. So transportation-wise, they're going to change a lot in the next 5 to 7 years. And EC also cover industrial asset zones, new cities building, new hospital. Everything will become very booming, So not just the government investment. Also, there's a lot of private investment from the listed company like AWC, MQTC, CP Group, where they plan lots of mixed-use projects in Pattaya as well. So that's why these are a great future. That's why Bangkok people
got potential
right,
to grow a lot.
Right. So lots of tourists, more than 10 million per year. So quite stable. In terms of the property, right now Pattaya, the land price, I would say, let's say land price on the beach is only maybe 200,000 or 300,000 baht per square watt. If you compare with Thong Loi here, right, it could be 2 or 3 million baht per square watt. It's just like 10 times different. Imagine that with a high potential growth of the cities in the next 5 to 7 years, you could imagine that what kind of land price is going to be, right? Which is going to reflect the condominium price. You bought probably on the beach, maybe 150,000 baht per square meter. In Bangkok, now it could be 600,000 baht already, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times.
But in Bangkok, you got stress. In Pattaya, you got the lifestyle.
You're more relaxed. You bought
you're
a
more
good
close
price,
to the nature.
high quality. You've got nature. You're on the beach, and there's a mountainside in Pattaya as well. In terms of quality of life, you can get everything. You get a city life, shopping malls. You go to the southern part, Na Jom Tien. You've got, let's say, amusement park, water park, like a Sony Picture Aquaverse, Silver Lake Vineyard, many golf courses, many things. So it has a great potential of the capital gain and good quality of life. So that's why Pattaya itself really attract lots of buyers, investors to buy property there for their leisure time, for their vacation home, for their kids, for their friends, and they can actually invest in property at the same time as well.
Well, since you mentioned that Pattaya also serves with a lot of purposes for visitors, not just only for Thai people, but also for international travelers, and also those who stay and work in Thailand. I would like to ask what are the properties or attractive properties right now, and what are a type of properties that will become more and more in demand in, let's say, in the future, because we are already at the end of the year.
Yeah, right. Of course, I think during pandemic or after pandemic, right, I would say the property with good quality, good design, good function, and of course high privacy. I think that would be a good selling point, and then for the future, it won't be the mass market where you go to the property and it has like 5,000 rooms, maybe 1,000 keys, 500 rooms, right? Probably with good privacy, good quality. If you look at the type of products, I would say the product like pool villas, vacation homes, stuff like that, it really captures toward the high-end buyer from Bangkok. You can spend maybe 20 million baht, 10 million to buy a nice pool villa in Pattaya, and you can just go there within an hour and a half. You can spend a nice vacation with your family over the weekend. So the pool villa products would be one of the good selling product type, which is going to be a hot product in the future. I would say for the condominium where it is close to the beach or maybe the beachfront, I would say the high-end products with a good brand. It could be a branded residences. Pattaya, most of them they're still local brand. But kind of products where it has like hotel brand attached with a project, where it has many projects in Bangkok before. That kind of product, you can buy a nice condominium with hotel services. I would say branded residences would be one of a kind. That's gonna be the good selling point for the future. So high-end condominiums, good size, not too small, not too big, on the beach, close to the beach, sea view, of course. This is gonna be a good trend of the property for buying, for your own, for your own stay, for your family, and also for long-term investment, where you can capture long-term capital appreciation because of the growth of the city. And also you might look at the long-term recurring income as well. Because when you buy a property in Bangkok, right, 10 million baht in Thong Lo, you may get one bedroom, you get yield maybe 3 to 4%, right?
Yes.
Because of the land price. It's been already very high. While in Pattaya, you can buy at much lower price. When we look at the rental rate, it may not be so much different from Pattaya. And Pattaya, you can do a short-term rental as well, which can reflect to a much higher rental yield, which means that long-term capital appreciation you can expect for sure with the growth of the city. And also the recurring of the rental yield, you can expect 6-7% easily. I would say this could be another intangible benefit apart from you use the property for your lifestyle and also in terms of the investment. I will look at both angles when I look at the property or real estate in Pattaya market.
In terms of Habitat Group, how do you define yourself?
Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, under Habitat Group, right, I think we grow from the point of the real estate investor. We buy property, we rent out, renovate, and look for tenant and manage property. We have been doing that for 10 years before we found Habitat Group back to 10 years ago, which means that we gather more than 20 years of experience in real estate investment. So under Habitat Group, our business model is quite unique, which is quite different from others in the market. Most of developers, they buy property, they build property, right? They sell, that's it. But because of our long-term experiences, being a long-term investor in terms of renting out the properties. So which means that we don't just build and sell, but we brought hotel chain to manage our properties. So that's why our properties in Pattaya begin with hotel brands. For example, like Cross 2, Best Western Premier, Wyndham Ramada. So we sell properties and we manage the rental on behalf of all the owners. So the owners can enjoy benefit from staying and also the rental yield 6 to 7%, and their own lifestyle to use the property. So that's what we did, which makes it different from other business model in the market. Yeah.
Do you call yourself a lifestyle?
Yeah, we call our business model as a lifestyle investment, right? Not just a property builder, but we're looking more like a lifestyle investment opportunities for all investors and buyers. I would say we're a boutique developer with a lifestyle investment business model.
How many properties do you have in Pattaya so far?
Right now we have more than 10 projects in Pattaya. I think we actually complete nearly 7-8 projects, and we are launching more 3 projects next year, including a pool villa project under Highland Park Pool Villas. We're looking for branded residences for next year, and also another project as a lifestyle investment. Yeah, so I think altogether we have more than 10 projects so far.
What about the projects in the future?
Yeah, in the future, we're looking for the pool villa project under Highland Park brands, which gonna have the official launch by early next year. It's gonna be a pool villa for your own stay, or you can actually buy the property and rent out as a short term or long term. You can expect yield 6 to 7%, right? So that's one of them. And another project would be branded residences, where you can buy condos on the beach, and you can have like hotel services. Yeah.
When you mentioned
like
about you have projects in the future, that's mean that you must be really confident about the city itself.
Of course. Yeah.
How attractive of the city itself. But the thing is, Thailand has been, not just Thailand, but around the world, been through the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic as well. Before and now after, how do you foresee this?
Wow.
And how did you do cope it from the past?
Yeah, of course. I think the pandemic occurred from 21 and 22, right? I think for the past 3 years. I think the trend of consumer behavior has changed a bit. You know, in the past, I think condominium market are selling quite well. I mean, many developers who launch mass products are selling well. But I think after pandemic, right, the trend of the consumer behavior has changed. People try to stay in a bigger kind of residential, which means that the housing project or vacation home products would be the kind of product that's gonna fit with the future. And also the product size itself is not gonna be a small size anymore. We're looking for more space, more function to serve needs of the behavior of the people, which has been changed according to the pandemic, right? So I think in order to cope up with this kind of market trend, of course, I think our business model has been changed a bit, not just focus on a lifestyle investment product, not a mass product, but we're looking to diversify into many different market segments. And one of them would be, I would say, a high-end luxury pool villa project, where you can spend, you know, a good time with your family and friends. It could be investment products. It can be for your own stay as well. Branded residences, where you can buy a nice project on the beach with a big size, good function, could be another product trend that's coming. So I would say it changed the whole, you know, behavior and also the market trend. So that's why we really adapt our business model and launch many projects where we diverse into different market segments and different kind of products, which gonna fit with a behavior which is changed after the pandemic. So
Why do you think that luxury or high-end products
Right.
will match to the demands, to the new trends or the customers?
yeah,
We are seeing right now that we have economic downturn as well.
Right.
Do you think that this will
Yeah.
not go against the trend?
well, I think I would say the high-end to luxury market segment, I think still performing quite okay if you compare with a low-end or entry level. Because I mean, when it has pandemic, right? People maybe lose a job, they don't have enough savings. So if you're looking for the entry level, I would say probably like 1 to 2 million baht. I think that's gonna have so much effects from pandemic. But you know, when we focus on the vacation home, second home, and when we look at the branded residences, I think this kind of product will not capture only your own lifestyle, but it turn your assets into investment products. So which means that this target group as a high-end and the luxury buyers, they may have their own savings, they may have their own, I would say,
Passive income.
yeah, passive income from bonds, from cryptocurrency, whatever. They might want to diversify their assets into more stable assets. I would say real estate has the lowest risk, I would say.
Right.
Yeah, it may generate yield maybe 5-6%, and capital gain maybe another 5-6% per annum. He may be looking like 10% yield, you know, in total, which may be generate not that high like cryptocurrency or maybe stocks or maybe bonds, but it has lower risk. So I think this could be a new trend, you know, of probably investment. Instead of investing in the stocks where it has so much fluctuation, high risk, high
Cryptocurrencies
return,
right now.
right? Cryptocurrency, just forget it for a while, right? So I think that kind of people, they might want to, I would say, change their assets into more stable, even though the yield may be a bit lower, but this could give them a more stable, you know, passive income.
And secure.
Right. So I would say high-end property would turn this kind of asset into an investment product. For their own lifestyle, as I mentioned that when it has a pandemic, right, you don't want to travel and meet people, you try to escape. So there's a social distancing involved in this, but you try to stay in a bigger place. You used to stay in a condominium, right?
With a
But
much
now you want to
relaxed
buy for a house.
Environment.
Yeah, you're in Bangkok. You don't want to go to work. You might want to buy a house somewhere close to Bangkok, hour and a half. You still can work from home and doing many activities with your kids, your friends, your family. So I think the trend has been changed. And the high-end products, villa products or branded residences, I think this is a good trend where it really captures the needs of the people after COVID period. So I think.
I have seen that you won a lot of awards as well,
Right.
best hospitalities, best designs.
Right.
But in terms of Pattaya, we know that before the city serves for other purposes too, like
Right.
entertainment, nightlife.
Right, right.
How do you see this?
Well, I think, you know, Pattaya, people might perceive them as a city, entertainment places, but actually I would say in the past 5 to 10 years ago, if you go to the southern part of Pattaya, right? Actually, I think that destination, we call it more like family destination. You know, you might see that Pattaya, it has many golf courses. It has like a Silver Lake vineyard. You know, it has a mountainside, mountain areas. May not be similar to Khao Yai, but I think it's not bad. You've got the mountainside and the beach side. You've got a nice Cartoon Network water park. Right now, it turned to be a Sony Pictures Aquaverse. You know, and there are many, many big projects coming, like mixed use from the MQDC CP Group. I would say many 5-star, 6-star hotel brands coming to the southern part. So the destination is not just only the city anymore. Because people come to
It's
Pattaya,
expand
right?
more.
They want to come to the southern part. It's more relaxing. It's more close to nature, and the water there, the ocean there, very nice. Sometimes, I would say during winter time, the water quality become quite more clear, which is much better than what we have seen in the city part. The mountainside, the vineyard, whatever. I think it really changed the trend of travelers. Not just the solo travelers who want to go to the entertainment places,
Yes.
but right now, group of friends, I would say families, they want to get together and spend their quality time together on the beach. And in the Na Jom Tien area, there's no road between property and the beach. It's just like you go to Hua Hin, right? From the hotel, you can just walk on the beach, and there are so many water sport activities. Okay, so the kind of property that will capture the trend, I would say, it's got to be the projects with good design, good functions, where people can come and stay. They can take photo and post in their social network, their Instagram, their Facebook, whatever. And also, the most important thing is to focus on design and privacy.
Right.
Because right now you don't want to go to the projects where it has like 500 keys, 1,000 keys, where there's so much clouds there. But you want to go to small projects where you can spend good time with your families, right? Like a Pula project or small boutique brands, where you can spend your time in your own villas. You can have your own, let's say, a floating breakfast in a swimming pool. You can have maybe a all-day dining, lunch, maybe barbecue, shabu in your own villas,
Just
something
privacy.
like that. It's more privacy, yeah. So I think that's kind of trend. And design of the projects is one of the key success factor, right? Not the mass market anymore. I would say that kind of trend coming.
And also when we talk about hospitality, when we talk about hospitality in Pattaya, people also think about the nightlife hospitality.
Right.
Could you please elaborate more, because you won the Best Hospitality
Okay.
Award for many years as well.
Okay. Well, I think when we design the project, right, I think we rather look at the right location. Of course, I think in the city, I think that really capture toward foreign travelers. But if looking for Thai travelers, I would say they trend to move toward the southern part. It's more relaxing, more nature, more close to the beach, right? When it comes to the design, I think location is the key. It's got to be on the beach, maybe a few hundred meters at least, if not on the beach, right? I think location-wise is very important. The product design is another key success factor. You don't just build a block of the building, but you really want to build something where it can be a landmark. In terms of function and design, you just enter the building, there are so much places where you to take photos, post anywhere, because it has so much gimmicks. It has so much outstanding, maybe some
That has a lot of
function, something
purposes.
more outstanding, unlike normal hotel chain, right?
Right.
So I think this kind of design, we really put them all into the projects all together. Function-wise, not just the product itself, I would say the services. It's got to be, I would say, 5-star international standard, world-class standard. Even though we're small brands, but we can say that our services can be like a 5-star brand, just like a Marriott, Starwoods, or Hilton, that kind of. F&B also really play another major role to the hotel business as well. Every menu you can post, you can take photos, you can share. So I think details, attention to all the details, the product itself, and I would say the services, it's going to be 5-star. So everything put together, so when it comes to the quality of the services when people come and use. So every single elements are very important.
Everything counts.
So, yeah,
every
everything
details.
counts. I mean, really attention to every single details. So that's why even though there's a pandemic, but we still survive and still can perform 50-60% occupancy in the past 2 years. Yeah.
Last is, you know how around the world and also Thailand as well, we have the Bangkok goals, BCGs economy, where we are going towards the clean energy, renewable energy.
Right.
How are your properties doing regarding to this BCG?
Yeah, actually the BCG is one of the key success factor as well when we design the project, right? Not just we build good quality, but we don't concern on environment. I would say every single element, you know, when it comes to the hotel business, we try to avoid all the plastic. We try to use everything coming from nature. So it will not ruin the environment. For example, when we look at the product design in terms of architecture, if you look at our sales office here, we try to have a good ventilation flow. If you go to our property, every spaces there are not aircon, but we try to integrate, you know, the lighting coming access to the lobby level and ventilation flow. So that's why you can get good energy without having to turn on the aircon every time. Low E glass, you know, to avoid UV rays, something like that. Design that use natural environments, I would say stone, wooden type, you know, something reflect to nature. You know, if you look at our projects, we try to implement green energy, everything. I would say landscaping on the rooftop, on the ground level. There are so many big trees to give enough oxygen, reduce carbon dioxide, whatever. So I would say every single element has been integrated into the product design, as well as all the services that we offer to all the guests. So the BCG is one of the future model that we already applied since, I would say, 4 to 5 years ago into our single projects. Yeah.
So talking to you, that means that Pattaya is now growing a lot, has a lot of opportunities, not just for Thai people, but also for foreigners, long stay, short stay, or investors as well. But when compared to Hua Hin, there are a lot of differences, right?
Yeah, right. I think both cities, they are quite close to Bangkok, right? But I think Pattaya, okay, maybe closer, an hour and a half. I would say Hua Hin is more like destination for Thai travelers. Okay, if you look at the number of travelers per annum, I think it's much less than Pattaya, right? I would say 80-90% of the tourism there are from Bangkok. International travelers, I would say maybe 10 to 20%. I would say from Scandinavian, from European business. Okay, but when it comes to Pattaya, right? I would say Pattaya, we call it more like global destination, because in each year it captures more than 10 million tourists, half of them from Bangkok. Pattaya can, the scale of the level, I would say it captures from mid to luxury. It has so much variety, okay? In terms of international travelers, they don't have just only one nationality, but it has a good mix, good balance. I would say there are so many, let's say from North Asian, from China, from Hong Kong, Taiwan, from Singapore. There are so many of them. On the west part where the Europeans, American, of course there are some Americans. In the city of Pattaya, there's so much Indians and Middle East people, right? Yes. So if you look at the mix, I mean, it's quite stable. Half from Bangkok, the other half from different, you know, parts of the world. I would say there are so much more demand. They're very strong in terms of buyer for living investment, in terms of the hotel business. We have the figure that we record from pre-COVID. Pattaya performing one, actually is the highest city with the highest occupancy, which is nearly 80%, which is higher than Bangkok and Phuket altogether. Because of the mix that I mentioned, that it had both travelers from Bangkok and from overseas. Yeah, so I think both cities has different character. Pattaya is more vibrant, it has nature, it captures different kind of target group. It has a good MICE business as
and
well.
Also for all
as
ages.
A corporate travelers. All ages, of course. You know, from retirees can goes down to like kids, where it comes like a family together. I would say it has a good mix and good balance. With the EC infrastructures coming, 5 years, 7 years, it can totally change to a new city. It can be maybe the second Bangkok city in the east part of Thailand as well.
So Pattaya has turned its old image from a entertainment nightlife
Right.
city into a city that has a lot of opportunities, vibrant, attracts not just only Thai tourists and also
Right.
international and also
Exactly.
investors as well. So it has completely changed its image. But if you would like to find out more about the properties and also Habitat Group, you can check out the Nations Thailand website for more details on our articles that will be released with this video as well. And that's all for Voice of the Nation for today. You can also stay tuned with us on our Facebook fan page as well. Facebook fan page Nation Thailand. I am Nina Nirashaman. Thank you very much for watching. สวัสดีค่ะ
ดีครับ